You see that video? No. You see the Paul Pelosi get hit with the guy with the hammer? So all these people
there's
have
a video of it?
Yeah, there's video of it. The cops, they released the cops' body camera footage, and then they also released the security footage that shows the guy breaking into the house. And then they released the 9/11 call so you can listen to Pelosi. So there was some suspicion that he knew the guy. But I think that's just because people are always suspicious of everything. There's always like, what's really going on? People always do that. But you could really clearly hear from the 9/11 call that there's a crazy person in his house with a hammer, and he's trying to keep the guy calm. Yeah. And he thought the guy was pretty calm up until the moment where the cops came, and you see he has his hand on the hammer. I mean, it's really fucked up. Listen to this because it's kind of crazy. Let's do it from the beginning.
Oh, wow.
But listen, watch this. So he goes in his house.
Right.
So here's the guy. He's got his hand on the hammer.
Everything's good. All right. Drop the hammer. Nope. Hey. What is going on right now?
I'm not getting an answer on call.
Oh.
Okay. It's horrible because you hear him snore like he's out cold. It's really bad. A crazy person broke into his house and attacked him. I mean, this is, you see the guy. The guy is smashing his door with a hammer.
That was really surprising for some reason.
He pulls up, he's got a backpack, and he pulls out a fucking hammer and just starts slamming at the door. So he breaks into his house.
He seems so calm.
Look at him. Oh, he's crazy. He also just got out of jail. So this guy is breaking his fucking door, smashing the window. Look at this. And he goes into his fucking house and hits him in the head with a hammer. And so there was all this speculation that people knew him. But that's what's fascinating, right? That these narratives, like instead of people going, I don't know what the fuck's going on, everybody's like, I know what's going on. He was doing this, and he knew that guy. Maybe they were doing drugs together. Maybe they were doing this. I mean,
and it escalates. Like,
yeah.
I think it can start. That's a fascinating thing to me is like a random anonymous person on the internet can even just ask a question. Did they know each other?
Yeah.
And that somehow starts to build up. It doesn't matter the story. It starts to build up to where somebody swoops in and answers that question. And it's all like anonymous people. And then somehow they can escalate and become viral.
They're supposed to be scared of the people. They're not supposed to be making the people scared. The government's literally supposed to be people like you working for you to make everything better for you. It's not supposed to be like you buy a fucking house like Paul Pelosi worth, millions of dollars and some crazy. How does he not have security? They're worth hundreds of millions of dollars that they swindled the American public from. How do they not have security? I mean, if you got that kind of cash and everybody knows you got a lot of it, maybe from trading in a way that like you might have known some stuff before you made these trades. I mean, you might have had some inside information.
Yeah, but there's probably much richer people to target. To go
Do you know that they are more successful at trading than Warren Buffett and George Soros?
Are they?
Yes. Google that. Make sure I'm not spreading more misinformation. But I read it. I think it was in, I forget what website it was. But they've made an exorbitant amount of money. A huge amount of money. And meanwhile, he's just like hanging out in this house with no security and no gun. And everybody knows where the house is. It's like kind of crazy that this was the first time a really nutty person. But that guy like apparently had just gotten out of jail and he was going to be sentenced and he was going away for something else.
That's a terrifying video, by the way.
Terrifying.
Everything felt calm.
The look in that guy's eyes did not feel calm. When the cops shone the light on him, he was making decisions. You could see it in his eyes. He was making rash decisions very quickly.
What would you have done with the hammer? Like, what's the...
2 hands, first of all, not one hand. You don't hold on to your fucking drink.
More aggressive? Take this hammer away?
You got to grab the fucking hammer and control it. You 100% have to control it.
Are you tripping him?
100%. If he's doing this, that means he's pulling. If he's pulling, you go behind him.
Yeah.
You just put a leg behind him and he's on the ground.
Yeah.
He's a crazy homeless guy. He's not a grappler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is like real obvious. Like you don't get the hammer back by going forward. You go this way. So if he's pulling backwards, he's just moving. You just go into him.
But you never let go of the hammer.
Never let go of the fucking hammer. You don't hold the hammer with one hand either.
A hammer could do a lot of damage.
A hammer can kill you easily.
Yeah. And
he's holding a drink. Throw the drink in the guy's face. Grab the fucking hammer.
Yeah. Where did he get hit? Because he
in
did
the fucking head, man.
In the head?
In the head.
In the head.
Yeah, that's what you hear him in the video. We cut it off before you could hear it because it's disturbing. You hear him snore like people do when they get knocked out.
But no, the like skull crack or no? Do you know?
Oh, you hear it. Yeah, you hear it. You hear it in his head. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the extent of his injuries, obviously, but he's 100% knocked unconscious there. You could see him out. You hear it hit him. You see him go down. I mean, unless the whole thing's a psyop, and that's why you don't see the hammer hit him. You don't see the hammer hit him.
Yeah.
You know, it's like maybe it's to make us feel sympathetic for them. You know, look at them. They're getting broke. Ooh, so they stole a little money. They don't deserve a hammer to the head.
Yeah.
Thank God it wasn't Nancy. Imagine that guy did it to Nancy. Because he would have. If that guy had gotten into that house and she was there instead of him, and the cops came when she was there, he would have killed her with that fucking hammer, man. And maybe she would have reacted in a different way than her husband. Her husband was trying to calm the guy down, it seemed like. If you listen to the 911 call, the 911 call, he's having this conversation with the lady on the phone, trying to be calm about getting cops to his house. When the lady is like saying, I guess you're okay then. And he's like, no, I'm not okay. Like, hey, like there's like an exchange where she's not sure what because he's not like outright saying, I'm in danger, send police, a guy's going to kill me. He's trying to keep the guy calm. Yeah. You got a crazy guy with a hammer in your fucking house. That's what happened. But San Francisco is fucking overrun with crazy people, man. Yeah. The streets are filled with fentanyl addicts. You got people that are dying on the streets of overdoses every day. It's a fucking disaster there.
Well, I'm just, in some sense, glad that there's video of this to where we know it's a crazy person versus like that kind of suffocates some of the conspiracy theories.
Yes.
Some of which, like Elon started, he apologized for it after.
Yeah, he retweeted something, right?
Yeah, about that this was he was a gay lover or something like that.
Yeah, no, that guy was a crazy person. I mean, I don't know whether or not he knew him beforehand or had any interactions with him beforehand, but the look in his eyes when the cop says, you want to put down the hammer? He's like, nope.
It's terrifying.
When he says nope like that, like there's a wire loose in that guy's head. 100%. He just cracks him in the head with a fucking hammer.
I'm going to have to get a John Danaher breakdown of how to defend against hammers. That was not in my suite of things to consider when being attacked.
Control of the hammer is very important.
Yeah, because because it's a leverage arm.
You want to control the hammer.
You have to understand the length of the hammer you're dealing with.
Yeah,
the size, the weight, size distribution.
That's why it's important to have grip strength.
Yeah,
he's gonna work on hammer defense.
Yeah,